Hello! In today's Archaeoscoop, my top 3 headlines are as follows. Headline number 1 comes from just off the coast of San Diego, where a torpedo fired in 1899, or fragments thereof, have been recovered. The torpedo, a number 24 Howell torpedo, developed between 1870 and 1889, was tracked down by an intern at the Naval History and Heritage Command's Underwater Archaeology branch. Quite a mouthful there. They were very excited to make this discovery and essentially tracked its location down by analysing deck reports, shipping manifests for naval ships at the time. Exercises off the coast were shown to have lost one of these torpedoes, and it seems that naval dolphins were used in the location and recovery of these fragments. So a really interesting story, a bit of detective work by an intern, no less. You don't have to be fully qualified or a master of archaeology for years to make these discoveries. Really exciting, actually. Really interesting story from the late 20th century. No, 19th century, sorry. It's the 21st century now, though. Anyway, that's headline number 1. Check it out, well worth a read. Headline number 2 comes from Qatar, I believe. It's actually a little bit hard to tie down the location of this one. But the research, it seems, has come from the University College London's Institute of Archaeology, based in Qatar, where ancient Egyptian beads have been analysed and shown to contain meteoric iron. Now, meteoric iron is one of those things where archaeologists and anthropologists and other groups have long thought that actually early sources of iron probably came from meteors or meteorites which struck the Earth. And were therefore seen as having some sort of magical properties. But it seems that 9 beads recovered in 1911 in the Jaguar cemetery in northern Egypt have sort of confirmed that meteoric iron offers an early access to that metal. In this instance, these beads, it seems, were formed using blacksmithery techniques, i.e. things like, for example, slow cooling and shaping, up to 2,000 years before the official Iron Age begins. So it's a very interesting bit of research, really, confirming this meteoric iron. It was first suspected in the 1980s, but this research done recently has confirmed nickel and germanium content, which marks it out as being different from terrestrial or man-made terrestrially produced iron in the core of the bead, so that this new research has been able to get right into the centre of the bead, identify those elements, and confirm that this metal's come from extraterrestrial bodies. So a great bit of research, and again really interesting, highlighting the idea that this metal would have been highly prized and worked even in a time when people didn't fully understand, perhaps, how to make iron from ores around them. Headline number 3 actually comes from some research which has been done at the University of York, a place very near and dear to my heart, in partnership with people in Denmark, Germany and Spain. It seems that during the Mesolithic Neolithic transition, essentially the introduction of agriculture and farming to Europe, people began spicing their food, adding spicy flavours and ingredients to foods. In this instance, garlicky mustard has been identified on burned pottery dating to around 7,000 years ago. This, along with animal and fish residues, show that this transition in Germany and Denmark was marked not only with new foods being cultivated and eaten, but also new flavours, or perhaps old flavours, being added to these new foods to make them palatable, more interesting to eat, especially if you're eating that quite frequently. So that's brilliant. Once again, highlighting that some of our most beloved traditions, i.e. flavours in food, have ancient precedents. So those are the top 3 headlines from today. For those news stories and some other news stories in the past few days, please do check out, as ever, the links in the video information. Plenty of interesting news stories, including, I believe, Carlisle Castle having been made out of custard cream biscuits. Yes, an incredibly British news story there for you. So there you go. Do enjoy and have a great weekend. Until next time, bye-bye.